Hello, class. This is Marcos, and I'm here to give you a recap from our week 4 and to give you guidance on how to continue on our rebranding project and next steps on our cross topics lecture series, video series, and exercises. So let's dive into it. I want to make this nice and quick and short because you have work to do, and I want you to be able to focus on your work. So you'll be doing, as we transition from week 4 to 5, our workflow will be to begin the logo design development. I'll go over that specifically here shortly. And then to work on our topics lecture series number 4, which is digital design systems this week. And before I get into that, let's just talk about digital design systems being a set of 3 videos as usual. And then we have a mural workboard here that you can collaborate and put your samples that are asked for in your spot, just like you've been doing the past weeks. But let's get a look now at our rebrand project as we're nearing. We have 3 weeks to go after this week, and a week 5, week 6, week 7, we'll cover that. On week 5, we'll be developing our logo options like you're for week 5 that you're going to be doing and presenting next week. And then we'll be finalizing our logos and developing touch points, layouts that apply the logos into sample applications to show the story or the positioning of your new logo in context to different kinds of pieces. And then week 7, we'll finalize that even further, maybe choose a winning logo and expand on that further, or equally expand on all of them, depending on what you decide to do. And which logo you think is working best. If you like them all, you can just expand all of them and not have a final. If you like one clear winner, you can pick one on week 7 and develop that into like sort of the final selection and do even more touch points, like I showed you in the Mac presentation. And then we have the final presentation on the Thursday of that week. Okay, so this is what we're doing for this week. We've been building our concept in terms of creating a set of concepts, 3 concepts, most of you, 2, some of you, having text for that concept and having that text tell the story of what the concept is about and how it applies to your strategy, and then getting a vibe, a mood board that shows your new design concept in visuals that gives that kind of spirit and tone and look and feel that can be aspirational towards what you want your brand to be saying. And then each of you in this next column here have developed a design inspiration mood board that has different strategies or tactics, I should say, on how to achieve a certain kind of look using visual techniques within typography, line and form, color. And that now should inform you in how you create your logo development. And as you can see here in the red box, these are the new additions to this week, which is you'll be creating a design, a logo revamp for each of your concepts as shown here. And basically the idea of what we've talked about this week was to try to make sure that you're creating your process in a way that provides not only different concepts and options, but also you want to create kind of a stair step towards change. And you want to start with your first concept, whichever it may be, and you may need to reorder this, but started with something that has a new look and feel that updates the logo, that fulfills the promises of your strategy, but also doesn't throw away too much of what your last logo, your current logo is like. So here you can see Mac, the new design concept for Simple, and down here is the current logo, and you can see that there's a very similar look to it. It's got the same kind of silhouette. It takes the same amount of space, and it's different and upgraded, but it's a small step. And then that allows for these next 2 to become even more evolved, and the third one being the most radically evolved. And that's ideally how you want to do it, so that you have these different steps. And at the same time, on another way of thinking, you have different concepts that are sharing different messages. And so think about that in terms of how you develop it. You develop your logo. I have it on Canvas, and in there's a link to where you should be uploading your work. The process for this week is going to be the same as last week. We're going to have individual meetings. I'll send out the correct time schedule, third time. Same order, but I messed up the times twice. I'll get it right this time. And we'll be meeting one-on-one I'll be in class and online on Zoom. So if you find it more productive to come in and spend time in class and meet with me and even stick around the whole class time, you're welcome to do that. If you find it more productive to work from home or your space that you're most productive in, then do that and Zoom in and meet me on Zoom, and we'll talk about your progress. Okay, so I want to just do a quick showcase of a couple of ideas, or I mean, a couple of past presentations, if I can just get my thing to work. Okay, so I want to just show you a student's work from a few years ago. She did Bath and Body Works, which is actually an excellent brand to choose from because it's been around for a long time. And like some of the brands you guys have, it's gotten pretty dated and kind of has almost a grandma look to it, and it's much more dynamic of a brand than that and in need of an upgrade. So this person has 3 concepts, and she created nice stories for each with nice titles. And I kind of encourage you to have a little bit of a twist. So Modern Again is her first title, or her first concept, and that's about the idea of being able to look at Bed, Bath and Beyond. Did I get that right? No, Bed and Body Works. Sorry, Bath and Body Works. The third time is right. Originating as modern brand, and just over time kind of losing a little of its shine and wanting to create a new look for it, and then creating these mood boards like you've done that show the design concept and show design inspiration. And again, here you should be looking at like how does what you collected, like the way the bright type or the light typography, the way things are stacked, just kind of use this as a tool to get you to what you'll do for your logo. So here's our first concept for Modern Again, and she's scaled back. If I move myself, you can see the old logo up here. She's like simplified it severely, actually, yet still keeping the look and feel pretty similar in terms of generally how the type stacks up, and for sure keeping the colors. That's a decision we made, that to not change the colors. And then just you might want to have like some, in each of your concepts, you may want to have a little bit of variation. So here's one variation, and you might end up having 2 or 3 or 4 different variations of one idea. That's always a good thing to do. Feel free to do that. And then her second concept was trad chic, or traditional chic, and that was kind of to still build on the heritage, but take advantage of the kind of trends that are going on in interior design, where trad chic has been, or the idea of old things being new again, is a really popular concept. And then using typography that reflects that, or using colors, or using shapes that reflect that, and then creating that inspiration towards how it's applied to the logo. And here's quite a far step, although we're kind of keeping this sort of checkerboard idea, but putting it within the type. So it's like utilizing equities and ideas from your current logo in new ways. And then here's another way of locking it up in a new way that's towards this trad chic idea. And then the last concept, the third one, is max minimal, and we're trying to move further away. And this is sort of the idea of like really maximizing the minimalness of how we strip away the logo into something even more basic, and try to really take advantage of the equity that the brands develop. So having this confidence to be simple and strong and bold, just out of cleanness and simplicity. And then looking at how we can do that, and looking at how light typefaces can start doing that, or even taking away elements within the typeface and deconstructing or slicing them up, or even overlapping in a way that's interesting, and then using that inspiration towards getting a solution. And here taking more authorship of how the name is perceived, and relying on Bath and Body Works as being known by the customers, and just sticking to the B&B Works, and keep, and you can have that freedom too, to be able to like make some adjustments towards how it's named. And BNBW here is another version of it. So in the end, I want you to have these sort of like 3 different concepts that are almost in this kind of concept 4. Here are the choices, and it's 6 of them, because there's three concepts, two options for each. So think in this way, and then that's what we want to accomplish by the end of next week. Another way of looking at it too is if you're kind of finding yourself being, don't forget the thank you page, please don't forget the thank you page. Another way is to look at it in terms of maybe beginning to develop the touch points for these concepts. If you have the time and you're moving ahead nicely, and your logos are simple, or you're just able to be more productive. So I want to kind of go through this one quickly, and this is Barbie, which is something we're all familiar with. And I put the wrong one in here, so this is not the right one. Give me 1 second. And we can look at Barbie in terms of how we can utilize the idea of creating touch points in addition to showcasing your new logo concepts. All right, let me see if I can get this in here. Okay. No, here we go. Okay, um, so timeless simplicity was the first concept for Barbie, and again, creating the mood boards and the design inspiration, and then looking at like a step that's not so far away and creating a simple version, keeping the color. And then here's what I mean by utilizing a simple set of one page of touch points where you take your logo and you apply it to three kind of more idealized the packaging in a simple way without getting too complicated, a bag or maybe even an ad somewhere. And then that helps kind of take a look at, particularly if you have like a simple logo, you might say this doesn't look very inspiring, but if you put it in context to how the brand is going to express itself in its packaging and its advertising and its retail, then it makes more sense to show the simplicity of it. So creating your concepts around the idea of having the story told, getting to a new idea like this, and again, another simple idea that's a little more masculine, a little more tech oriented, a little staying away from traditional femininity towards a new kind of look at femininity, but then creating that logo within these touch points. And even the three that we see here are now different, or two of them are different. One of them is the same, but they don't have to even be different. They could be the same because you just want to see what they look like in context and you want to compare them to each other. So the same thing here with this boundless creativity. And here's where we really make the breakthrough and we simplify and make Barbie still have its feminine script, personalized kind of look, keep the color, but shorten the name, very, very much like the kind of emoji speak that we do on our texting and the abbreviations that we use. So BRB or Barbie. And this is brilliant now. I mean, when I look at it, like they should be doing this right now, but here you see it in context again with similar, here we have the same bag, the same package, and the same ad. So this way, if all three are like this, you're able to show your logo in a context and help inspire both yourself, me, and the idea of which is the best logo. So think about it in that way. Whether you just simply show your logos, that's fine. But if you want to start getting into the touch points, do a standard page of 3 touch points or so that can quickly reflect what the brand looks like, what your new concept looks like in context. Okay, so that is it for now. And I will be sending out that schedule. Remember to do your videos and your exercise, and I will see you on Tuesday. Thanks, everyone.